Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Cloud Computing for the C-Suite show with Brad Nelson, an internationally recognised and world's #1 cloud industry expert, and thought leader David Linthicum. This show is sponsored by Nelson Hilliard, cloud computing recruitment specialists, placing great people in cloud, IoT, fintech and AI. In this week's show, David and I will be talking about the cloud computing skills shortages and how it's affecting the C-level issue for the Global 2000. Hi Dave, thanks for joining me this week, and how's your week been so far?
Week's been great. I'm in Vegas, man. Nothing could be better. So I'm just relaxing and chilling and sitting and working in my hotel room 10 hours a day.
Oh, fantastic. Sounds like you've had a great time there, and it's been a big day for you today. So thanks for coming on to the show.
My pleasure, and glad it worked out.
So we've got a big question for you this week, Dave. And in your opinion, is the cloud computing skills shortage at the C-level an issue with the Global 2000?
It is primarily the biggest question I get in the last 6 months from the C-suite. CEOs and CFOs and even board level decisions are wondering about what they're going to pay for in terms of hiring cloud talent and also where to get the cloud talent. So they can't find it. One of my clients has 200 job openings and they put them out there for the last 6 months, and they have a total of 20 qualified resumes, even with the recruiters working with them. So the reality is that people who have Amazon skills and Azure skills and architecture skills and those sorts of things are just hot commodities right now. And so they're going to the highest bidder. And unless you're offering a tremendously valuable package, and I've seen some very valuable packages out there, it's really tough to attract the talent. And so they end up compromising and hiring people that are less qualified. And those people end up making mistakes and building crappy cloud technology. So it's a true issue in the fact that they want to move quickly to the cloud, but they can't find the skills they need to do it. And so now that's up in the board, and now that's up at the CEO. So this issue is up at the C-suite, and now they're trying to make strategic decisions as to where they find the brain power to make the cloud happen.
And where do you see the biggest challenges there going forward then? And enabling their skill shortage to be fulfilled?
I think the cloud hit late in the game in terms of trading and certification and things like that, came around too late. And so we have very few qualified people because we have a scarcity of training over the last 3 years. Now the training's there, but we just don't have the time to put people through the training to get them up and running and ready to go work on cloud stuff. And also, enterprises are looking for people with experience. It's tough to find people with experience now.
So that's a very valid point. Within the C-suites, what point do you think the strategy and how do you think the implementation of the strategy should be put in place in order to make sure that the right people are put in place with the correct qualifications and skill sets?
I see one of the main barriers is the fact that the enterprise really doesn't understand what they're doing yet in terms of building their cloud systems. So they assume they're going to need AWS skills, so they write a rec for AWS. They assume they're going to need architects. But it's really kind of the tactical skills in terms of big data, in terms of sysops, in terms of DevOps, in terms of all these various things that need to come together. They're going to make and break their systems. And unless you know where you're going and where you're going to be in 5 years, you shouldn't really hire for the people that you think you need. And I see that happening now. So we're mishiring because we're not necessarily putting a plan behind the type of hiring we're looking for.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree with you. I think it's it's one of the skills that you certainly bring to the table when it comes to working out exactly what the needs are, and it's a very difficult thing to ask because some people don't even know what their needs are unless you're in there talking with the right people. And more often than not, when I'm talking to a client, it's more about they actually don't really know what all their needs will be. And it's not until you actually break things down with the IT department and the CIO or the CEO, and you can actually get a clearer indication of who is it you're looking for and why. What are the outputs of that DevOps, SysOps, person? What have they got to do to actually perform what you want? I think that's a really key point that you've mentioned as well there.
Yeah, you can't be a generalist when it comes to hiring people. You need to have specifics in terms of who you're hiring and what they're going to be doing, and really kind of assemble the skills and technology around the plan as to where you're looking to go. and not vice versa. You can't do this on an iterative tactical basis. It's just not going to work.
No. Well, Dave, look, thanks again for your time today. It's been great having you on the C-Suite show. Look forward to next week, which will be great. And yeah, thanks, Dave, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your time in Las Vegas.
I will.
Thanks very much for watching, and remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the weekly cloud computing shows, including the cloud computing news. You can also reach David on Twitter at David Linthicum and myself at Nelson_Hilliard. Thanks again for watching.